Hey guys, today I want to talk about living with less in the Philippines. It's something we talk about a little bit on here. We talk about minimalism, things like that. But today I want to talk about this because it's kind of important. One of the things I notice is when people get locked down here, they buy condos or they buy homes or whatever, they kind of get locked down. If they go through a divorce or something, it's usually a big mess. It's a horrific mess. Because if people want to get out of here quick, they can't because they have things holding them back here. And one of the things I like best about living the way I live, renting and not owning a lot of stuff, is this. Is I can get up and go whenever I need to go. If there's a problem, at a snap of my fingers, I can be in and out of here. And a lot of the guys here that don't have a lot, I notice tend to be happier because they have that freedom and know that at a moment's notice they can get up and go. And it kind of gives you more choices. The guys that get settled in here because they figure they're retired, they're married to somebody, and they get settled in here, and I get that part. And some of these guys have really awesome wives and stuff like that, and that's great if you have somebody that you can totally trust 100%. And a lot of these guys have been blessed with that. But there are some guys I see over here, and they go through these troubles, and they go through divorces, or they go through a breakup or something like that. And it's horrible to watch because they're kind of tied into that. And over here, if you're married, it gives the girl kind of a lot of power over an expat because they kind of have everything in their name. They have more power than you do because, you have to go in and get an annulment or go back to the States and get a divorce or whatever. And not just that, it gives you, it empowers you when you do rentals versus own. It's okay to get married if that's your thing, but rent, because if something happens to that marriage and it breaks up or something like that, a lot of guys say, well, I'm going to be with her for the rest of my life. You don't know that. You don't know that. Marriages still break up. Things still happen. People think that because they come to the Philippines that there's this magical mixture that's going to make everything work better over here than back in the States. There's no magic over here. There is no magic in the Philippines. It's not a magical place over here. It's a regular place. It's beautiful over here. It's fun over here. We enjoy living here. It's magical in the sense that we enjoy living here. But things do happen. Relationship problems happen. Breakups happen. Divorces or annulments happen over here. People say, well, Steve, there's no divorces in the Philippines. No, but people go back to the States to get them. And we've seen this with many, many people over here go through this stuff. And it's a mess. And it's kind of the reason why you're better off not having this stuff, because then when you have to go through all that. And at our age, it's almost traumatic for some of these guys in their late 50s, 60s, and 70s to go through an annulment or a divorce at our age. It's horrific because sometimes things really break down really, really bad. There's a lot of fighting and infighting, but with these things, and I've seen this with a few of our expats just recently. And it's kind of traumatic to watch in itself because you think, wow, that could happen to me. If I ever got married here or something, it could happen to me. I could go through this. And sometimes even just regular breakups can be traumatic. And I see some of the guys going through that. And it's rough on older guys here. And it's best to keep everything light. Keep your life light. Don't buy a lot of things. Don't buy things you don't need. A lot of guys come over here and say, well, I want to, really live up my life. You can have a nice place like I have. And you can live really good, have a TV and have your Macintosh computer or whatever. But if God forbid something happens and you need to get up and go, it might be something that's not a relationship issue. It could be a typhoon issue or something like that. You and your girlfriend got to get up and go. It's good to live lighter than it is heavier and have a whole bunch of stuff that you have to take with you sometimes. And I get the fact that a lot of people, they want to be totally settled in. And sometimes for those people, they know that they're not going to go through a breakup, some of them just know because of the way their wife is, the personality of the woman or whatever. You can kind of tell with most women where you're going to go in that relationship. You could just feel it, but a lot of guys, their intuition is wrong. And when your intuition is wrong and something happens and you're in your 60s and 70s, sometimes you're gonna want to get up and escape what you're involved in. You're gonna be like, jeez, this isn't working out for me. It's not working out the way I had dreamed of it happening. I got to get up and go. That's why you live like a minimalist. You live lighter, and it just kind of gives you a lot of freedom. Like if something happened to your house, you don't own a lot. You don't have to worry about it. You can go out and buy new stuff or whatever. It just makes life 10 times easier for you living as a minimalist. Not just that, there's cost savings because you're not buying a lot of junk, a lot of crap that you don't need. A lot of my stuff, when I buy stuff, sometimes I use it once or twice or something. I give it away to somebody because I know I'll probably never use it for another year or two or whatever. So I give it away to somebody and they're thankful for it. I try to keep my life really down to the minimal stuff that I need and nothing more than that. Even in my house, like, I don't even have a washing machine. I don't have a stove to cook on. I don't need it. I have a toaster oven and a microwave and an egg cooker and a rice cooker, and that's it. You know, and that's all I need to live. I don't need that much stuff. And if I had to leave, I could leave some of this stuff behind because, you know what? It wouldn't cost me that much to restart up somewhere. If I had to get out of here because of a typhoon or earthquake or something like that, in probably about less than an hour, I could have all my stuff packed up in a bag, ready to roll, ready to go, and be done. But anyway, guys, I just want to talk about that today a little bit because keep your life down to a minimum as far as what you own and stuff like that. I think you'll like it better, you'll live better. I understand some people want to live large, and I get that fully. And I have a lot of friends that live large and they're happy and they're lucky. They're lucky because they've got a good wife. They've got a rock solid wife or whatever. And I just don't see anything happening with their marriages because they have a rock solid marriage. And you can see that in the way that they handle themselves and the way that they get along and stuff like that. And both of them are happy in their lifestyle. A lot of people here, they don't realize that some of these people, when they get involved with these younger women are quick to move on sometimes. And the older women are more likely to stay with you. The younger women, they see somebody new or something like that, and you're getting older. If you got married to them and you were 60, let's say, and they were in their 20s or something like that, you know, and you start getting into your 70s and your body starts breaking down, what do you think is going to happen? Eventually, they're probably going to leave you. There's a good chance, unless it's a really, really good woman. And there are some good women in the Philippines, don't get me wrong, but a lot of people think that they're all good. That's never going to happen to me. It's not going to happen to me. It's not going to happen to me. I went through a divorce before with a Filipina. It can be rough, and it was a rough one. That was a long time ago, and thank God, you know, I got through it okay because I was younger and I was able to take it. But for me to go through a divorce now in my 60s or 70s or 80s, hell no. I don't know if I could handle it. You know, it'd be rough. But anyway, guys, I just wanted to put that out there, just a quick chat on that, because a lot of guys come over here and they think this is the promised land over here. It's not always the promised land. God bless, guys. Take care. I hope you enjoyed today's show.